Night Gala is Saturday, September 25th at the Westin Hotel. A lively and safe evening to celebrate the children and families served by Siskin Children's Institute. Reserve your tickets at siskin.org/Star Night.
If you are lucky, you know someone in your life who finds a way to see the positive in what otherwise might be kind of a negative situation. Mark Hite happens to be one of those people in our lives here on 3+U. He, of course, heads the Mark Hite team here in Chattanooga, and we're going to put a positive spin on the real estate market today. Good to see you.
Hey, good morning. And as always, even on this rainy day, we should be thankful that we've got the rain. We're not those poor folks in the West.
Exactly. So you have been putting a positive spin. Sometimes it's been difficult, Mark, over the course of the last year or so, but you really are seeing an uptick. It's not just your own view. The numbers are looking better.
Yes, Julie, as you know, I've been a student of the numbers for 20 years, and the numbers, it's not like a card trick. They really do tell us what's going on and perhaps what's coming up. And we actually, in the month of July, in the chaos of everything else in the world, we had some record-setting numbers here in the greater Chattanooga real estate market.
Were they record numbers in terms of how quickly a house was selling? Was it record numbers for price? What was it?
Boy, you are right on it, Julie. We'll start with numbers of days. We had the lowest number of day count. That's how long it took the listing from when it came on the market till it went under contract. It only took 16 days last month.
Wow.
Now, keep in mind, 2 years ago, that was at 60 days.
Right. Now,
and if you look at the historical last 10 years, it is by far the lowest when we were setting at 130 days just 12 years ago.
I guess to be fair, the reason you're seeing that quick turnaround is because the inventory is still difficult. But last time you were with me, you told me that the numbers were climbing. You were seeing more and more houses on the market.
Well, that's the perfect segue as well. You are right on it today, Julie, because we had a record number of houses come to market. Last month, 1,594 homes actually came to market, new listings. And Julie, the last time we saw a number higher than that was July of 2007 when it was 1,600. So we are seeing positive traction. So if you're a home buyer and you're like, oh, there's nothing for me to buy, well, there were 1,600 new houses last month alone that you didn't see. And at the same time, if you're one of the folks that's like, I don't want to sell, where would I go? We're seeing lots of product come to market.
And Mark, just to kind of put that in perspective, I might have the numbers wrong, but didn't you tell me not too long ago that there were only like less than 500 houses on the market?
That's exactly right. We bumped along in the last week of April, first 2 weeks of May, somewhere in the low 600s. One morning we did hit below 600, I noticed, that were available for sale. So this morning there were 1,189, so almost double the number of houses on a single day that were available from just 4 months ago. So we have bottomed out and are seeing a positive track on daily available inventory.
Have our trends changed in the sense that long ago I was told that the best time of year to put your house on the market was in the spring before the kids were going to head off to school to get the family settled? Does that really matter anymore?
What COVID showed us was in a very clear manner that we were not as tied to our old habits, which were you put it on the market in the spring, you sold in the summer, and then you were settled in. Because we saw folks begin to say, I'm going to buy when it's available. Mm-hmm. Or what we saw this weekend was as parents got through, because they've been kind of quiet for about 10 days, parents began to get their kids in school last week, and Saturday and Sunday, our internet leads perked right back up. As they said, okay, that's behind me. Now then, let's start to look at houses again. I was in a visit last night, and the folks was like, well, we've been thinking about it, and kids are back in school, and maybe now's the time for us to think about it now that we're not as worried about, are they going to be at home, or are we going to be homeschooling? Mm-hmm. What's this year going to be like?
That's a good point. Okay, let me set you up here because we did not discuss any of this really this morning. Sometimes people will find a house, they like the land, they like the layout of the house, but they want to come in and refurbish it, put their own touches on it. With the shortage of material supplies, is that affecting how people are looking at the houses they do purchase?
Well, yes and no. One thing that I noticed this past week is at our local big box material suppliers, prices on 2x4s and wood products, many of those rolled back last week from when I had been out there shopping for a project 30 days ago. So we are starting to see some improvement. And at the same time, I was with a family on Saturday, and we had visited last November. And they were interested in my guaranteed offer. But at that point, it was the same old, we don't have anywhere to go. Well, on Friday, she had found the house she wanted. It was available, brand new on the market, but they didn't want a contingent offer of a house to sell. So got on the phone Saturday morning, we went over, figured out what I could give them for the house so they could make a clean offer. Now, and the good part is, he's a veteran, so he's going to use his VA benefit to buy the house, but then he's got all this equity that they're going to put the big deck they want, fence the backyard. So it really, we can find a pathway forward, Julie. We absolutely can.
And I think you've told me not to worry, because even though the prices might still seem kind of high right now if you're selling and buying, the market's pretty stable. That value is going to remain.
Right. There is nothing unhealthy about the financing or predatory lending that was taking place in 2007-8 that caused the great financial crash. People have more equity in their homes today than at any point, and so we can't continue to see 10% price increases. That's unsustainable because wages are not growing at that path. But there's no reason to expect a 10% correction in the next 90 days.
Always good talking to you, Mark Hite. Thanks for your positivity this morning.
Have a great one.
You do the same. You can find Mark Hite and his entire team. They're part of Real Estate Partners down on West Main Street in Chattanooga. 265-0088 is the phone number. Online, it's markhitehomes.com. We're back after this.